How's it going, Tim?
Hey, Chad, pretty good. It's Friday night. Well, I would say pretty good. Some of it's good, some of it's bad. Namely, the bad is A&M
Mm.
canceling or postponing. I'm sure it's going to be canceled all in all. Our this is the second of two games. This is the only other game. Well, so we had Tulsa postponed or canceled earlier in the season, but we
Mm-hmm.
at least got an opponent for that. And then A&M cancels on us 3 weeks ago, coming here a home game, and then they just a day before the game this morning or this afternoon
Mm-hmm.
they find out they can't go play over there. So that's what I'm saying. I'm missing a Razorback basketball game tomorrow for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. It was a good couple weeks. I gotta admit, I made a bit of a mistake on my prediction. Um, and I'm glad that I did. I'm glad that it didn't come out as I predicted. And I wanted to lean the other way as I was making that prediction. You know what I'm saying? But I didn't. And, shame on me.
There's no shame on you, man. We hadn't proved we could be one, and then 2 games in a row. Not, Florida wasn't ranked, but Missouri was number 10 on the road, and we proved the very next game. That's what we wanted to see. It's not exactly like you talked about, like we couldn't do it. You just said pretty much, I want to see them prove it to us, and they did. So ain't nothing wrong with that. Like
Mm-hmm.
we're homers, man, and I thought I was kind of like, oh yeah, road game. Missouri dominated us last time. They're coming off a loss. They're gonna be, motivated.
Mm-hmm.
And I did pick the score pretty close. I think I picked 85-82 as 86-81, so not bad. It never happens, but
Mm-hmm.
I'll take it, man. It was a good win.
Take it any way we can get it. That's for sure. I mean, hey, it was a good win. It was a good ball game, and it was a really good win. I like the way we played in that ball game, and then we went out and handled Florida. Which I mean, say what you will, but we don't beat Florida a whole lot. We just don't do it. So to do that, and for me to be able to wear my Razorback gear around all week long and just rub it in everybody's face, that's great. And I really only came in contact with one other person. My laptop this week had busted, and I had to go exchange my laptop and get a new laptop at work. And so the IT guy came out with a brand new laptop, to my car, and he had the lanyard on, and it was a Gators lanyard and all that. So he came out there, and I had my Razorback hat and my shirt, and whole 9 yards on. So get you a little of that.
Yeah, that's nice, too.
It
Yeah, of
it
course
does
you're gonna
feel
have it
good.
on.
It
There's
does
probably good
feel
weather.
good living down here because man, you get razzed at for it a lot because they just beat us all the time. So it was nice to get that win and be able to be the one doing the bragging.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy to. That's our first win against them. I know we don't play. We probably play them in the bud every other year, but this is our first win in Fayetteville since 2013. Our last win against them was in the SEC tournament. We were just not very good against them. Just
Hmm.
since Nolan was the coach, and it's something. I don't know, something bothers. I think that's a kind of a streak breaker. Hopefully, we'll do pretty good against Florida from now on because that's an awesome experience. You get to go down there. That's nothing like being in enemy territory and
Oh
having
yeah.
your Razorback stuff on after a win. Especially if that's a Gator fan. It's not like it's a South Florida fan, a Miami fan,
Hmm.
a Wisconsin fan, or not even doesn't even know it, watch any football. That's cool that it's a Gator fan too.
Yep.
And they're like they're giving you a laptop. It's not like you're like they're like, yeah, you're taking something from them, and you took a win from them.
That's right. That's right. That's basically what happened. That's how it worked. I went out there and I laid it down and represented Razorback Nation like I always do every single day. And it is what it is.
Every
So
day.
every day. So it's nice whenever they back me up. You know what I'm saying? It's nice whenever the Hogs have my back. That's for sure.
Yeah, there's nothing like it. There's nothing like it. That's one of the reasons I'm really missing that game tomorrow. But that's that's
Hmm.
that's an awesome experience.
Yeah, I'm just surprised in that game at how much we spread it around, man. Everybody got some playing time. Everybody put some points on the board. Everybody got some rebounds almost. Only one person didn't get rebound. So from my
And
count.
it's crazy. And in that Florida game specifically, the only two people that played and didn't scored are Desi Stills and Vance Jackson, both seniors. I mean, Vance Jackson played 3 minutes. Desi only played 5. They're getting minutes taken from other guys. Devontae Davis has been so good. I mean, 18 points, 3 assists, steal, 5 rebounds, makes free throws, just pushes the ball. He's been earning his playing time.
Mm-hmm.
And then Jalen Williams, another freshman, kind of taking some time from Vance Jackson. Like, no matter if you've got to prove. Man, that's why we've been playing so good. The competition on this team has been excellent. And you're right.
I went and looked
around. It's fun to watch.
Oh yeah, and I went and looked right now. I'm looking at the stats, and I was just talking off the top of my head. Well, I got to look at the stats. I didn't realize Note had a rebound. I guess he did. Everybody did. So I mean, that's huge. That's huge. That's big basketball right there. That's playing hard down low. That's taking advantage. And that's what I like to see. I like to see that type of aggressiveness and playing hard in the paint.
Yeah, out rebounding teams. We've seen that for the majority of the season.
Mm-hmm.
There's not a lot of teams that out rebound us, and that just gives you so many chances when you prevent the opposing team from getting second chance points. And then some of the best points you see are most satisfying when you watch basketball. To me, are those second chance points.
Oh yeah,
and of course, one of the greatest plays of basketball is a tip slam, a miss coming off the rim, and somebody just jumps up out of nowhere and slams it home. But any bounce off the rim, the Hogs get it and puts it back up.
Mm-hmm.
It's just a good, but the rebound, it just shows you're aggressive. I mean, just shows you're physical.
Yep.
We're this far into SEC play, and that's a sign of consistency. And we're on a 7-game SEC conference win streak. So it's been
absolutely.
That's just huge. I love seeing rebounds.
No, you're right.
Can't be taken advantage of or not appreciated. So that's a good point when everybody's contributing, guard or center, power forward, whatever.
I mean, we had to be at least 90% on our free throws too. Like every free throw we were putting down in that game. Like every time we went to the line, we were putting it down in that game. I don't know what's the stats say. Let's see. 87%. It's pretty damn close. 20 and 23. Only missing 3.
Yeah.
Only missing 3 free throws. Like I didn't think we missed that many. Honestly, I can't hardly remember it from the game.
Yeah, this Missouri game. I mean, getting to the line to 23 times. That's more than the home team's getting. That just means and taking less threes than them and hitting about the same clip. And but you're going in these just when you're going perfect like that. And then overtime, 7 out of 9. I mean, you're just making your free throws you'd like to see. We only missed the whole game in regulation against Mizzou, but they knocked down they got to the line and knocked down free throws. That's a big part. Free throws and rebounds are 2 good places to start.
Oh yeah, definitely. Got to agree with that 100%. I am disappointed in 3-pointers, right? Getting out there and jacking them up. 21 of 8, only 38%. I don't know. For me, like I'd rather see that production go. Get it down low. You're running around 50%, 46% down low. So get it down low and get those baskets. You have more of an opportunity to get it. But we won, so I don't have any reason to be complaining about it. And I say that a lot about Musselman's games. So,
well, that's just basketball in general, man. I mean, you got both these 2 games we're going to talk about that we played this past week. They shot more three-pointers. So both teams shot more 3-pointers than us. So we do score a lot of points. So and when you're taking that many shots, you're going to get some threes attempted because that's just what and they're worth 3 points.
Yeah.
So that 38%. Would probably lead the nation if you shot that every game. We did not shoot it well, 4 out of 15 against Florida. But if you shoot 38%, some of those are big time. But, yeah, you're right. And then we outscored Mizzou in the paint, which last game, when Justin Smith, I think he couldn't play. It was the day after his ankle surgery. He was missing. And Yeah, they killed. I mean, Tillman killed us, but this time we outscored them 36-28 in the paint.
Yeah, absolutely. No, we definitely did. So, I mean, it was a great game too because I just enjoyed how hard we were pushing it in that game. We were really moving the pace back and forth a little bit more than I think we have in some of the other games. And it was really nice to see that fast style of basketball.
Yeah, it's definitely what we want to try to do. Some of these teams do not like to play it for whatever reason,
Mm-hmm.
but I like. But this was a game we were able to do that, and yeah, points from turnovers, 19. Outscore them 19-11 on turnovers. We're forcing teams in turnovers. We're really good on transition, like you mentioned earlier,
Mm-hmm.
as just the passing and sharing of the ball. Once they get a
Yeah.
rebound, I mean, you got both big men, Justin Smith and Connor Vanover, both can pass
Mm-hmm.
for their size. So when you got big men passing every position, you've seen both those are the big guys take or get a rebound and even take some dribbles, not awkwardly like a lot of centers
Mm-hmm.
can be. Trying to even just make get the rebound and trying to find the right outlet pass to
Mm-hmm.
keep that transition going. But they're really sharing the ball, and those are the fun. Those are some really fun plays when they really push the tempo, and we're getting better at it. And I mean, this was a team
Yeah.
with hardly anybody returning. Desi Seals is the only guy from last year
Mm-hmm.
that was getting any minutes. The whole team has changed, so it took them a while, but right now it's paying off. Like they're really playing together.
Yeah, I think in this game I'm like, I felt like Moody could have, got the ball inside a little bit more. He had some opportunities to kind of, you know what I mean, to advance it down low. But at the same time, he's putting up 16 points and he's the point scorer of the game. So it's like you can't complain about that too much, right?
And six out of six free throws is pretty. I mean, he got to the line a couple times, and each time converted all of them.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. It was a good game though. It was fun to watch. I think Vanover had his moments. He was only in there for 12 minutes, and you really see like Smith's really starting to take over this forward role. Right? Like I think it was kind of up in the air earlier in the year who might be leading this role, and I think at this point it's starting to solidify itself.
Yeah, Smith getting 38 of the minutes. I thought, yeah, he was Smith was 6 out of 10, 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, 6 rebounds, 3 assists, didn't turn over, a couple steals. He just played an excellent game. Vanover if you remember last time against Missouri, he was 0 for 11 and played just a couple. I mean, just off his worst game of the year. He post game's like, yeah, I really want to come out, especially after that last game, and obviously it's a big game anyways. But he was 5 out of 7. He's 2 out of 4 from the 3-point line.
Yeah.
4 rebounds, 12 points, 2 assists. Did turn it over a couple times and 2 block shots, but in 25 minutes. So he's been stepping. During this run, he's been really good. And just seems like a yeah. Go ahead.
No, you're right. Yeah, absolutely. I think like you got Oscar and Vanover. That he loves him and he still watches the game. Wants to see him in there. Wants to see him participating and stuff like that. And get some stuff done. And I don't know. Like I enjoy the guy. I think he's good. And I think the longer he's around, the better he's gonna be at this point. You know what I'm saying? But Smith's really just kind of. I don't know. He's just kind of.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I like to say they're battling or whatever, but at this point, it's just I don't know. I just feel
they're on the court at the same time a lot.
Yeah,
I mean they both started, so they're on the court a lot. When Vanover doesn't play a lot of as many minutes, but just at his size. But that's a 1-2 punch because they pass to each other. Like the big men can both pass, and I know Smith. Well, maybe it's in Smith is I think that's the Florida game where he throws Connor Vanover like 2 alley-oops. So that's a big man passing to the big man for the dunk.
You got to like that.
Must said after this Missouri game too that they were really starting to. They had three like straight possessions where they're just or something about those couple of possessions where they're like calling more plays specifically. Run for Connor Vanover down on the block instead of him outside. So it looks like they're finding strength. Vanover's been hitting that skyhook a little bit more here lately. He's been getting a lot of pick and roll dunks.
Nice.
That's a hell of a 1-2 punch. But it's hard to beat just Justin Smith in general. Like as the
Mm-hmm.
Moody's been a solid guard all year when
Yeah.
during the time. But Smith, I think we're 16-1 or 16-2 with Smith, and then like 1-3
Mm-hmm.
when he didn't play. So he's such a big key to this team.
Absolutely. And then what's up with Sills, man? Like, I mean, last few games he didn't get many minutes, right? But this game he got, he got some time. He got 21 minutes, and he still didn't.
20, yeah, that's.
He still didn't perform like you'd expect him to perform, right?
Yeah, you needed him to be a big lead. I don't know what's going on. I mean, when he does, he plays hard. It's not that he's just really right now. It seems like he's just getting just outplayed by Devontae Davis.
Mm-hmm.
Devontae still makes a couple of, in the end of those, that we had a 4-point lead with about a minute left against Missouri in the second half, minute left in the game. And Missouri has the ball. They're down 4, and they score. So we're still up 2 to a chance to put it to a 2-possession game with 30 seconds left or whatever.
Yeah.
And Devontae, I think, goes down and gets a shot blocked, but he was aggressive, trying to find something. Offense wasn't, it was an inside shot, but down. And I think he takes another. I think, and then Missouri ties it. And so we're tied with still 9 seconds left, and he takes one of the shots. I mean, hopefully in the future he'll make those shots, but sometimes he does make those fresh mistakes. I do like the aggressiveness going inside for those. But right now he's been playing really good, and 3 assists, no turnovers. Seals, I don't know what's going on. Something's got to be. I don't know if we missed it. I haven't really seen anything. Maybe it's just getting outplayed.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess that's the case. It's just surprising, You wasn't expecting it at this point, in the season. You'd think he would be
The only guy,
taking off right now, not like moving backwards, But you never know what
the
you're going to
only
see
returner from last year.
Yeah, and you never know what you're going to see in the next game,
Yeah. Yeah, you never know, and he's capable. When these other guards don't do it, he'll get his chances. Everybody's. I mean, he got 21 minutes of the game, like you were talking about. He's going to get his chances. And there's going to be a game where it's Desi. Like, I mean, he's the junior, but he's the only guy back from the last couple of years, and gotta love it. He does play hard, just sometimes, but I think he still has opportunity and potential to one of these games in this conference. Maybe Wednesday against Bama. Maybe he just knows, like, we're playing a top 10 team at home. We got this opportunity. Me as the junior leader, I was supposed to come in like I've got to put up big. It just has 30 points.
Yeah. And then you get 6 steals, right? Which I don't know. We're usually doing a little bit better in that category. So
yeah, I agree.
You want to see that. You want to see that production back to where it was before. But at the same time, I guess you can't. You can't expect that every game. It's a defensive thing, right? And I'm always saying that in football. And it's weird, like how I look at things in football versus basketball, where I'm not an expert on it. And I'm like, hey, what the hell, man? Shouldn't we be getting close to the same amount, But then you get 6, versus 10. I mean, that's pretty close. So, I don't know, man. I just like to see that number kind of, improve a little bit as we move on back to what it was. You don't want to see that regression, but at the same time, you won the game, right? And I don't know. It is what it is.
I think that's the thing I've noticed a lot, or just that maybe Musselman's style of defense. He just, he's not. I think we're coming off, and Musselman, they do have more. 6 is not enough to win. I mean, to just, if we want to, advance in the NCAA tournament, have success, beat Bama here coming up, and win the SEC and beat LSU. These teams that beat us earlier, whipped us by 20 or 30 points earlier at the top of the conference. If we want to show, who's really deserving, we're on this hot streak. Let's go knock the top off for people ahead of us. One of those things you got to play better defense, because some of these games, Missouri, there's a lot of open threes, and that's not with a lot of aggressive, or just a lot of trapping. And we're not playing full court press. So there's sometimes where I'd like to see us. We got momentum, especially with the kind of the depth we have of guys that can play. Kind of utilize those guards now that some of these freshmen are. they've been playing all year. Let's install some full court presses to try to force the defense, because we're really good in transition, but we only play, maybe trap in the half court to get steals, and we do get deflection. We're an athletic team, but sometimes I'd like to kind of see us, even if not all the time, but we've used that. There's a 2-2-1 press. I mean, earlier in the season, we haven't broke out in a while. I'd like to see that, or even a full court man, at least sometimes, to try to use our athleticism to force some more steals.
Yeah,
I agree with you.
It seems to me like we're in a lot of zone. Whenever I'm watching, especially in our defensive plays. And I don't know the sport as well as you do, but that's what I feel like. I see a lot of.
Well, on the half court, we're playing generally. I mean, Musselman doesn't like to go zone. So it's a lot of man, but we do kind of sag, and a lot of times it does look.
Yeah, I guess it's just the way they shift.
Look,
they shift in the paint and stuff like that.
Like match, yeah, and then like a lot of coaches will use the matchup zones, but use man-to-man principles, and then it's just it's all and then in college, by the time you get Musselman has worked in a lot of different leagues and seen a lot of defenses. But it seems like we're sagging a lot. Maybe that was we did. They are aggressive inside on us, and they did that. Missouri did out rebound us. That's things like that, but.
We won the game. We won the game. We won the game, right? Like, we can't complain. That's the thing. That's the thing we can both damn agree on. We can't complain.
Think Musselman's?
Think Musselman's what?
Sorry, Chad.
You think Musselman's what?
Musselman's just happy? Do you think Musselman's happy with
the
win over?
I hope not. I hope not. I hope he's not happy right now. No, hell no. There ain't no time to be happy.
He's got to be pissed.
Not as a coach, man. As a coach, like you're satisfied at this point. As a coach, you're satisfied, but you're looking back and you're thinking of all the games that you lost, and you're thinking, I just beat a team that was a really good team, that was a ranked team. I just became a ranked team, and I should have beat some of these other ranked teams. I should have beat at least one other ranked team as a coach. Like, as a coach, it's worth the salt right now. He's thinking, I should have beat at least one of the other ranked teams, and I should be, in the top 10 right now. Not breaking the top 25. Just barely. So, like, that's where you're at. Like, that's where you're at. That's the kind of coach you want. That's the mentality you want. And I think that's the mentality that he has. He's a very, very competitive guy. Obviously I don't care that, he doesn't wear a suit, and he doesn't seem like your average basketball coach. He's a little more laid back and stuff like that. Like, that's not the biggest problem I ever had with him, right? But I do think he's driven and motivated, and I don't think he's satisfied right now. So I think he's got to prove something to himself in the last portion of this, basketball season. He's got to do something. I feel like he's going to push the team very hard to end this thing very strongly.
Yeah, he's out to prove himself. He's just kind of a head coach in college. He was at Nevada and then us. He's been fired from the NBA a couple times, but he was an NBA head coach, so he's been on the top of the coaching ladder. He's been coaching in minor league basketball. Just all over the place. He's got a lot to prove. Yeah, and it's got to feel good. He's got to be excited about the progress. He's got to be like, wow, yeah. They look at these. They're not what the alternative, of course, is like this team's still a jumbled mess. You see Kentucky can't handle this weird pandemic year. All these Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, these teams can't figure it out and get these teams that all come together. Teams that are doing good this year, like Gonzaga and Iowa, that's got all these juniors and seniors that's, been playing together for a while. So he's got to feel pretty good about him figuring out how to gel this team and where it can go, because he wanted to. They were trying to get a non-conference matchup set up for the game tomorrow, and since A&M didn't play, but I guess really couldn't make it work that quick. But hey, more rest for that Bama game on Wednesday.
But you got to give it to you got to give it to both the coaches. You got to give it to Musselman and you got to give it to Pittman. Both of them have done a great job managing this pandemic and keeping the team healthy. More Pittman than Musselman. Pittman always had his mask on. He always wore it right. He didn't have, You know what I mean? He didn't play around with the corona stuff. Pittman, he be putting it, his nose out and down around his chin and shit. But at least we ain't had to, say we can't do it, right? So, and who knows? Who knows what's going on over at A&M? I mean, hell, maybe they didn't even buy a heater or something for their college or whatnot. And you gotta feel sorry for that whole situation over there and all that, and all the electricity being messed up and stuff. So, there's a lot going on there. So, but it is kind of a puss move to just kind of quit, not play the damn game.
I mean, they haven't played all month, and it's the second game against us. So that's 2 games, like 2 wins we could have had to pad our resume. Like we could have 20 wins by now with some games together. You know what I mean? And that with cancellations. 17-5, but 19-5 sounds even better.
Come on, man, get it together. That's what we gotta say, man. Get it together, A&M.
Like if we were playing bad or just coming off a loss or something, just season. It's one thing, man, but to have these games taken away from us, from these people just not taking care of business.
Anybody that wants to quit, I'll take that win. You remember Ole Miss did that a few times, quit on us, and we had to take that win. Like, that's how it is, man.
Oh, yeah, if they cancel, we take the win. So, actually, you take the Tulsa cancellation, 2 A&M cancellations on their parts, and that's we're 20-15 right now.
20-15, that's what I'm talking about. Well, here's the thing. When we left the last time, we were looking at the, schedule, and we were saying, like, it looks like there's a possibility that we could make the tourney. But if we lost 3 games, we'd still be able to make the tourney. And at this point, Tim, if we lose to Alabama, LSU, and South Carolina, are we making the tourney? Do you still think that holds true? The 3-game rule?
Depends if there's no SEC. If there's an SEC tournament, we'll have. I would imagine it'd be pressure for us to win a game. If there's no SEC tournament, because teams like A&M don't play, and teams that's just kind of, just they're not in the picture, so they've kind of just given up.
Mm-hmm.
What I mean, or like, maybe we don't play an SEC tournament. There's no extra games. If we lose all 3 of those, I feel like we'd still squeak in. Like we maybe like a 12 seed, 11 seed last. In the last teams.
Mm-hmm.
But I think these couple wins, and I don't know, a lot of these wins in the this streak has helped us. And I think beating. I mean, it'd be nice to at least beat Bama or take one of those.
We beat Bama. That's a big deal. We beat Bama. Are we ranked in the top 10, or are we just going to be ranked close to the top 10?
I bet we're 17 if we beat. Well, I guess it depends kind of who loses, but I don't know, man. If we beat Bama, it feels like I say they'd put us at 17.
Yeah,
I'd like to be 15, 14. I think that kind of 8-game win streak the SEC should warrant you. All right, yeah. I mean, are they really the 24th best team in the nation? How many teams, like the way we're playing, like how many teams in the nation could we beat? And quite a few. I mean, I don't think we've reached our full potential, which is good because we're playing good. And I think it can get better, but I don't know. To answer your question, Chad, sorry, man, just rambling.
They're good.
And I don't know if we'd be one of the last teams in if we lost all 3 games.
We're gonna get in. We're gonna be the last team in. Hell yeah, that's exciting. We can lose all our games, be the last team in. That's Tim said that. If it doesn't happen, you can pen him a letter. A harsh letter.
That's fine, man. At least somebody's sending a letter. They must either like writing letters. A sane person that's cool like that, likes a handwritten word. Or they're crazy. That could be crazy too. Or they're so mad they took the effort to do something and they're not really doing a lot. And do I appreciate it? I don't know. And
if you want to just type it out, if you're not into penning, you can type it out. You can just send an email. That's cool too, man. But you get to say, man, you're wrong. We lost all 3 games, but we didn't make it in. You're totally wrong.
If they cancel the SEC tournament, like they've got to find a team to play that after March 2nd.
They ain't
March Madness
canceling
ain't till
the
like March
SEC.
17th.
They ain't canceling the SEC basketball tournament. Think about it, man. They
Now,
didn't cancel the football tournament. They ain't canceling the basketball tournament.
Okay, what about this? And these are worst case scenarios. Like, there's no reason why we can't. How about this? Let's turn it around. Like, well, actually, let me go back to like just kind of think, not naively, just realistic, just seeing what we can squeak by, make this.
Oh
make
man,
this
you have
big
a
dance.
Bama loss,
Let's say
right?
we lose. What about we beat LSU or South Carolina? I don't know. Or just beat one of those teams. Well, if you beat Bama, you're definitely in. You could lose 3 games in a row and then still make it. But
Yeah.
maybe LSU or South Carolina, you do win one of those, and I don't know who you'd play in the SEC tournament.
Surely.
I mean, what if you go? I don't know if you could go 0-4 and miss it. You know what I mean? Or make the tournament. That's a different question. Okay. But how about this? We go 4-0, or well, no, we'd go 3-0, and then we.
Uh-huh.
I don't even want to do the whole thing about winning the tournament, SEC tournament. But let's just say let's stop at those 3-0. Like, how good of a seed do we get? The better seed we get a.
I mean, if we beat Bama, why can't we talk about winning the SEC tournament? Like, who's going to beat us? Kentucky?
That's true. No.
I mean, seriously.
No, I guess, we. I'd like to get a rematch with Tennessee, though.
Look, if we beat Bama, LSU, and South Carolina, it's very likely we go into the tournament and win that.
Yeah, we'll definitely have that. At least the second. You have the first or second seed, you get a bye or a couple buys, and you just 3 games just run through it like that.
If they don't do the tournament, who wins the conference?
Bama's only got 1 loss. We've got 4 right now. So, but they've got 5 more to go, and I guess we got 5 more. So we both played 13. So they're 3 games ahead of us. So we'd have to. They might win the regular season, but we could win the tournament. I mean, especially.
Yeah.
I'm excited for Wednesday, man. This is our. I mean, if they're beating us, 10, 12 years in a row in football, we deserve to kick their ass in basketball and put them in their place.
This is a big game.
They can't. Yeah,
it's
man,
a big game.
Huge. They're coming here, man.
But more importantly, we did play Florida, and we haven't talked about that yet. So let's backtrack just for a second. What? Do you have another scenario?
Oh, yeah. No. Sorry, man.
We talk a couple more scenarios if you want.
That's it.
All right. Anyway, we played Florida. We beat them 7. What? Anyway, we played Florida. We beat them.
Unless you had any more of these theories.
Oh, I got theories, man. You know that. No, I'm gonna save a couple, just to pull. Just to drag this thing out a little bit later tonight. All right, 75-64, Arkansas Razorbacks, number 24 team in the nation, goes into Florida, handles our business, does what we need to do, and wins that game on the road. Boom, taking care of it. I mean, you can't ask for anything more than that. It was a good game. I enjoyed watching it, and I felt like a lot of people were surprised. They didn't think this was going to be the outcome of the game, honestly. I think a lot of people felt like we were lucky kind of winning our last couple games, around here at least. And they thought, like, they were going to win this thing. And, we took care of it, I mean, even the newspaper down here, it said, Gators have no excuse for Arkansas loss. I mean,
wow.
Yeah, what kind of headline is that?
We kind of kicked their ass like from start to finish in this game too.
Mm-hmm. Yep, from beginning to end, we went in there and we took care of business, and it was a good game to watch, man. We didn't miss one free throw, man. 14-14 on our free throws. We didn't jack up, a bunch of 3-pointers, but we didn't convert the ones we did. We were 4-21. And then we were 23 of 61 in the paint. 37 and 19%. So we really didn't have like our best game, honestly. But the free throws, like they're the ones that won it for us. That's what did it. Like you do that every time, and you're set. I've always been somebody that has focused on the free throws. But funny thing is, I just read the wrong stats, man. I'm just real lucky.
I saw that, man.
And I'm looking at it, I'm like, damn it, man. This is the second time in a row I read the wrong stats, man. So that was Florida's stats.
We were 15 out of 19, though. That's still pretty good.
Yeah, we were shooting 80%. Really good. Not 100%, 15 and 19. Golly. It is what it is. Whatever. All right. I'm over it. It's live. It's what it is. You get what you get on the Razorback podcast. We ain't cutting it up. We ain't messing around with it like these other fake-ass podcasts and shit. We make mistakes sometimes. We own up to them. We move forward. But 44% still, you're not doing too great. You know what I mean? In the paint. And, your 3-pointers, you're doing a little better. You're 26%, 4 of 15. But, I guess I can't say they shot too many free 3-pointers, being 4 of 15. But at the same time, that could convert a little bit more, right? So, I don't know.
There's a lot taken from Moody. 2 out of 7, that's a lot of... Moody didn't have his best shooting game. He still got some points on 14, and he did have 6 fouls.
He had 5 rebounds, 2 assists, and 14 points. So I mean,
yeah, and he leads the team in getting fouled, man. So he's really aggressive trying to get there, man.
Yeah.
Kind of battling through it. Still played a really good game, and 5 rebounds is solid from that. And I'm not saying he played a bad game, but even he led through most of the game, man. Yeah.
Well, he's good at taking fouls. You know what I'm saying? Like baiting them and taking them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. He's really a smooth player, man. He affects man on defense. He takes a lot of charges too. He's
and did this game we saw Dante Davis get out there and put some points up, man. Putting 18 points up, being the leading scorer of the game. So it was nice to see him. He's out a lot and he gets some points sometimes, but I think it's the first game in a while where he's been the major contributor in the game.
Yeah, he's the leading scorer, man. A hell of a game from Bonte.
Oh yeah, 5 rebounds, 3 assists. Like he's playing, man. And
that's why Desi only played 5 minutes in this game.
Yeah. Well, you see Desi's production in the last game, and how many? 21 minutes, something like that. So can you blame Musselman for what I'm saying, not having him in the game as much? I mean, I can't, right? You kind of see that pattern, and you kind of understand why he's getting the time he's getting. I think you look at it and you got Tate getting out there and having an excellent game too, 14 points. Being in 31 minutes, hitting 3 rebounds and 2 assists, and it's just like it's the guys that don't normally lead a team are leading the team. But man, to me, Smith really took advantage in this game. He was the guy, right? Like during the whole game, like he was the funnest player to watch throughout this whole game.
Yeah, he starts off that game scoring some of the first points and off offensive rebounds too. Like just staying with the play after and getting those, and 15 points, 7 out of 9 too, 6 rebounds, 4 assists, 5 steals too, just everywhere. 2 blocks, filling every single stat except he didn't get blocked against. That's a good stat to have, and he didn't shoot any threes. That's the only thing he didn't fill in the stat sheet. And he's just everywhere.
Yep.
And this is the game where he threw Connor ran over a couple of alley oops. I mean, that's just from power forward to center dunks right there. So he's just an excellent game, and he's playing incredible right now.
And then you had Tate and Williams who got in a little bit. They were able to contribute. Tate had a really good game, 14 points. 2 assists, 3 rebounds, and then Williams getting in there with the 4 points and the 10 rebounds. I mean, just rebounding machine in this game, right? Just snagging them. Getting 23 minutes. I mean, having a good game.
Yeah, man. I mean, if you're not going to, in 3 offense, too, to like leading the team, and that's just being aggressive, and and then just 10 rebounds total. That's a pretty good 23 minutes from Jalen.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Doesn't just, he's passing, and he's got, he's moving the ball around, and that's a when you get a double on anything like that, that's awesome to see from the freshman.
Absolutely. And you get Note, he got a couple points. He got in there for 11 minutes and got some points, and so you can't ask for more than that,
Yeah, not bad from him at all. Just a couple minutes for Vance Jackson too. So you got that starting lineup playing quite a few minutes.
Our steals are almost in double digits. I mean, we got 9 steals in this game. We're much closer to the 10 double-digit mark we had. So we're starting to push ourselves, and we're starting to move up from that last game. We're starting to see a little bit more, production.
Yeah, and two, I think you see. Is he back? Is Chad back?
All right, I'm back. Sorry, I had a little bit of technical difficulty right there. So at two, and you see, that's what you were saying.
Where were we at? Then you cut out there. What's going on with the Hog Call universe?
Nothing, man. We're all good. There's just another channel that's like blowing up right now, and like doing. I don't know. I need to mute their notifications, which I'm going in and doing right now, to nothing. So that's taken care of, and we won't have that issue again. But anyway, it was going diddle-doo, 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 over and over again. And it just started. So it was just like out of the blue, right? Hey, it's what you get, man. When you get a live, uncut, uncensored podcast, that's what you get. We ain't got time to be chopping it up for the listener's benefit, man.
How do these people, I don't see how these people, I look at other podcasts, their running times are like 19, 30 minutes, 40 minutes. Like, damn, man, how do they do that?
Yeah, they cut that stuff up. Cut it up. They give you exactly what they want you to hear in the exact amount of time they want you to hear it, and brainwash you. Or you can just listen to regular conversation like we're having. That's your choices. But yeah, no, we were talking about the turnovers, right? Or the steals, I mean. And we had 9 steals, and I was just saying, like, we're getting closer to that 10 mark,
Yeah, we are. 9's a lot better than 5. That's almost doubled over that. So that's really nice to see.
Mm-hmm.
We're up 38. We were beating Florida 38 minutes and a half of this game. Florida has that, I think, we're leading most of this game, and they have a brief lead.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Yeah, they took a 62-61 lead with 4 minutes left, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then we still win 75-64, so we just outscored them.
Yeah, it was really iffy at the end of that game. Like, we wasn't sure who was going to win that thing. Like, it was pretty nerve-wracking at the end. I remember it was the last couple minutes, and I think it was the last 2 minutes. I was like, man, I hope we can do this thing. And then it was like boom, boom, we scored back to back. It's like, whew, man, all right, good. we did it. We closed it out, and it was like a lot of pressure off, right?
Yeah, it was. Well, we made closing plays down there. I mean, all the game, when they come back, they've got the momentum, and just like, bam, stops like that. We outscore them 14-2. Mm-hmm. The rest of the way, just like, damn, I mean, that's just making big plays down the stretch, getting to the free throw line, hitting big shots, getting like really clamping down on defense and making plays. That's what we did against Missouri. Just winning 2 close games this week. And even going back, we've like proved we can. Here recently, we win those close games, but it's nerve wracking for sure. I would have liked to just beat Florida by 20 or 30 and not have it, but here we are, man, winning a close game.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. We gotta win the next one too. We gotta move forward. We gotta go to Alabama, and we got to we gotta put it on there. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I don't know if we have any more to discuss on that game. It felt like we went through it pretty good. I mean, I guess
we did. Yeah, no, that's good.
Yeah, it was a good win. But since we played Alabama last, they beat us 90-59. Just so you know. So they put it on us last time. They went in and beat LSU 105-75. Then they beat Mississippi State 81-73. They beat Kentucky 70-59. They lost to Oklahoma 66-61. They went and beat LSU 78-60. They lost to Missouri 68-65. Went into South Carolina, beat them 81-78. Beat Georgia 115-82. They're going to play Vanderbilt tomorrow, and then they'll play us. So, and you look at how they beat Kentucky. It was like a 85-65 game, and I don't know. I still think Kentucky's like, you can measure yourself against your Kentucky game. They've just been so good, historically. I guess is the reason I feel that way, right? So, I don't know. It's going to be close, man. I hope we can win this thing. I think it's one of those things where, we might not win it, but I hope we can.
I think being at home, I mean, I know it's not going to be, it's a shame it's not going to be a 20,000 people crowd on Wednesday, but I think still being at home, I don't know, man. Even few people that are there, I think just being on that court, being at home, it's going to help us a lot, man. If we get rolling, we've just been playing so good, but Alabama has been too. They've put up, their last game they put up 115 points.
Yeah,
I mean they're not playing on a downslope or anything. We're getting them at their best, and this is going to be, a top 25 matchup. That's pretty cool. But
that's true. And it seems like you have. Primo, Shackelford, Jones, Petty. It seems like, Reese. Those guys are all you see out there. Like, they just put the same guys out there and just roll with them. It seems like they don't go deep in their lineup.
No, they really don't. Not those kind of starters play a lot, and they get a lot of the shots. But against us, they just kicked their butt from the get-go, so a lot of people did play. But yeah, in general, they kind of stepped into that lineup.
Yeah, they don't get the bench. They don't get the bench in a lot, from some of these other games that we've seen. I guess you go back and look at that game that we played. I don't know. Let's see. Yeah, they really did. They did get everybody in a little bit more in that game, but it still wasn't as predominant as like some of these other teams you see, right? Like you got some 9 minutes and some 8 minutes off the bench, but like 4, 3, 2, and a lot of times they get 1 minute, off the bench or whatnot. So even though they got a little bit more, it still wasn't as much as what you would normally see,
Yeah, absolutely. They just got shooters. What happened in that game against us? Look at that, 15 out of 36 from three, just making shots. Well, they just got even better in the second half from the get-go. We were just terrible. Look at that, 6 out of 26.
Yeah.
Shooting the ball. When we shot free throws, we were good. We've been a good free throw shooting team.
Yeah, we're both in the 70%. So yeah.
So if they're hitting a bunch of threes, so they take that 42-19 lead at halftime, and you're just demolished. You're just.
You got to stop the threes.
Them for that, man.
You got to stop the threes. You got to do something to stop it. What do you think? What as a coach do you do to stop the 3-point shot in this game? Like what strategy do we need to come in with to stop Alabama?
I think it's just manning up, man, and making sure they kind of playing a little tighter on the shooters with them better shooters. Maybe not sagging so much down the lane to kind of protect the paint. Just trusting Justin Smith and Vanover to kind of protect, and Jalen Williams, kind of protect the paint inside on defense. trust those guys. He just played taps to those guys like Petty and everybody was shooting. This game Shackelford really killed 4 3-pointers, and Petty was really good.
Mm-hmm.
You just kind of got to not then let them kind of, but they want to play fast. I mean, they put up a lot of points. They want to play fast too. And at home, we've got to be better than that. You just can't get down. 42 points isn't really a lot to give up for us. Like in a normal game, we'll score 40. We'd score 45 in that kind of pace. So we were really bad on offense. We didn't play great defense at all.
Yeah,
but we did. I mean, we scored them out. We outscored them in the paint. So, and what Bama did to us is turn us over a lot, and we can't turn it over 18 times.
Yeah. And we didn't have Vanover, so we'll get Vanover back in this game, right? And that'll be very helpful for us. But like you said, we just had a bad game. Like a lot of our guys had a bad game. Williams, Smith, like a lot of our guys who are having really good games now had a bad game. And at this time, we were really relying heavily on Desi Sills, which we're not doing now because it's just been proven that it's not our best strategy, right? So I feel like the strategy Musselman has come together with his players in such a way that we're going to be more productive than we were in the last game, And can we beat a team that's putting up 90 points? Yeah, man, we can hang in with that. We can put up 90 points,
Oh yeah, especially we can keep that pace of play. And I think it's just about really executing, making those. We just weren't really gelling right then. I think that was maybe Justice Smith's first game back, so he just wasn't. I mean, look at it, only 4 shots taken, almost played 20 minutes, only 1 rebound. So he was really a couple turnovers. So he didn't have his best game, but that was important to get him out there.
Yeah,
Seals just. I'm sorry. Well, I'm not trying to pick on Seals. Just a lot of these games, if you had him, I mean, we would be scoring 90 every game, and we were averaging 80 something every game. We'd be scoring 90 and 100 consistently if Seals just played in his minutes, just like he normally does, he's done a lot of his career. But in this game, that game against Bama, 22 minutes, 1 out of 8, 3 points, 2 turnovers, one assist. Just kind of Davis even playing pretty good in that. Game 5.6 rebounds.
No, absolutely.
And Moody pretty good with 28 points too. But I mean, it was just.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just don't feel like it was our best team, right? They didn't get the best Arkansas that we've had this year, right? They didn't get the Arkansas they're fixing to run into now. They didn't get the Arkansas that played last week. They didn't get the Arkansas that played the week before last, right? They got like a subpar version.
I think since he's been at Arkansas is undefeated when we're like 4+ days of rest. So it seems like if he's got that many days to kind of get these guys rested even more, not playing this Saturday, off a couple wins, hopefully keep those guys healthy and fresh and have some, killer game plan. And we just kick. I think we can beat Bama. And I think
So Musselman's undefeated. Anytime we have 4+ days of rest.
Yeah, between playing games.
Between games. That's awesome.
So,
well, that's a definite win then, right? Like, that's the kind of stats I like to hang my money on, honestly.
Yeah. Here we go.
I guess we need to make a prediction on this thing.
What are you going to pick, Chad? I'm interested in your pick this week after what will happen. Maybe you should keep, just don't think.
Look, dude. All right, so usually my predictions are pretty good. I don't think it's my prediction that caused the events of the 13th. I'm going to say...
Well, whatever it is.
Arkansas 92... Alabama, 90.
Wow, I like that. Okay, that's a damn good thing. I can imagine it's pretty good. Bet.
I think Seals gonna have a good game because we've been talking trash about him this whole podcast.
We've been talking trash, man. I'm sure he wants to play better too, man. Okay, you distracted me. Well, all right then. I'll go Arkansas. Arkansas 91. Bama 87.
That's a big win. That's a big win right there.
Woo.
But they know it's for the conference, right? Like they know it's for the they know like they win this game, they're going to the dance, right? So
what happens if we beat them and then they lose their last two games? So we're tied at 13-4,
and we don't have a conference.
If we're tied at 13, both teams are tied at 13-4, and we just tie for the. Well, we're just gonna have to beat them in the SEC tournament.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Bama's losing their last two games after they lose to us.
Who they play?
I don't know.
Let's look. Who did they play? Gross team. Mississippi State and Auburn. Man, if Auburn was a little better.
Yeah. They're not going to the tournament by any chance. So I don't know if they might be calling it in by that point.
I don't see them losing to those guys.
Well, I'll still take 13-4 though.
Oh hell yeah! I think that's good predictions.
But if we go 13-4, then why is there a reason why? If you haven't seen a loss in so long, I'm sorry. You're on a win streak, and you don't think the Hogs can lose, and I love it. I'm enjoying. We're right in the middle of it.
Exactly. Oh wow! Well, I mean that's it. I guess the next time we'll talk, we'll go over this LSU game on Saturday. Hopefully, we'll get to that before Friday. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see, guys. Stay tuned. Listen to the live version on YouTube if you're worried about it.
Oh yeah, that's true. All right.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes into we look at hockey, and we just done bye week. We're gonna continue to be on a bye week through the 20th before we get back, and we play Iowa State, and we've already went over how badass we are, and we're undefeated, and we're just winning every game, and we're winning by a large margin. So maybe on the 27th we'll have some hockey stuff for you. Before that, I don't think it's time to look at Iowa State or do any of that research yet, but we will we'll have that coming up, and I guess I just want to mention it to everybody because it's on. It's streamed live on YouTube and everything, just like it always has been. And it's a hell of a game to watch, so.
Yeah, I'm excited for them to come back from that break.
Me too.
Yeah, we'll talk about that the next podcast. Hopefully, I mean, we wouldn't need a second game to worry about this weekend. Like, it'll be such a big win if we beat a top 10 team.
Oh, yes.
We're looking at the seeding and ranking then.
Well, what if we beat them? What if we beat Texas Tech, Texas, and TCU?
Yeah.
I mean, that'll be nice, right? Because then you're beating the number 8 team in basketball, number 3 in baseball, number 9 in baseball, number 10 in baseball. So that would be a hell of a weekend for Razorback sports. Now, even if you just beat TCU in Texas and you lose to Texas Tech, or vice versa, or any of the combinations, that's still a great weekend, having 2 wins over a top 10 team, right? Ultimately, if you're going to drop one of these games all weekend long, you want it to be the TCU game.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Oh man, I really don't like any of those teams.
Well, wouldn't that suck? All weekend you're winning. You go in that TCU and you're just like, we ain't gonna lose this one, and boom, shit the bed. And that's classic Arkansas too, man.
Oh yeah, just chance to just hold the trophy at the end. You go undefeated through that tournament. Surely you get some kind of trophy, man, holding it up in the state of Texas. They're playing it.
That would be nice to go to Texas and just dominate all the Texas teams. Like, we deserve that. We deserve that as Arkansas fans.
I think the pitcher, Polly. I think on Saturday when we played Texas or Sunday, like he said, his dad never. He grew up in Arkansas. And his dad never allowed him to have any orange, or never allowed, or didn't have any orange. It's not allowed to, but just didn't have any orange in their house because they hated Texas so much. So he gets to start. I guess Sunday, huh? I was looking for these game notes, man. I'm just completely lost about this.
Yeah, I guess so. It's gonna be, it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to check out. I don't know much about either of these teams. Honestly, I hadn't had a lot of time to dig into them. The baseball season's just starting. You know how stingy everybody is with the information prior to the season these days, man. They just don't want to. They just don't want to, delve out anything, honestly. But we know we still got Van Horn, and he's doing a great job. And his assistants, Hobbs, Horns, and Godwin, still doing a hell of a job. So it is what it is,
Yeah, I mean, we got some guys. Part of that core of Curtis Franklin and Robert Moore coming back, and Casey Opitz, catcher, coming back. So it's Goodhart too. But we only played in 16 games last year, so it's really hard there's got a lot of guys that's been in this program that's hadn't got as much playing time, but has been in the program for a while and kind of ready to break out.
Do we know who the pitcher? Do we know who the pitcher is going to be? Who's going to be the starting pitcher for any of these games yet? Have they determined?
Yeah, he announced. Sorry, that's what I was trying to find.
Oh.
My bad, man. I saw it earlier. It's one of those things you look and
look.
It's hard to find baseball information. Well, why is it so hard to find game notes? When I go to any other sport right before the game, there's game notes, and I saw it earlier. I enjoyed it. What they put out was great information.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's all good, man. I mean,
Here we go.
Okay.
Sorry, I got it. Got Zebulon Vermillion going against Texas Tech. You got Peyton Paulette against Texas. And the left-hander Lyle Lockhart against TCU. So
nice.
Those are the starting pitchers.
Nice. You got what? Moore, Nebsit, Wallace. You're getting them guys back. Webb. So you're getting some talent back. For the Razorbacks. Connor Nolan, Colin Smith. You're getting some depth back.
Yeah, and it's a lot. I mean, the pitching staff is what they've been talking about. It has a lot of depth, so it's supposed to be it'll be early to see. That's why Nolan's back, and he's not even one of the starting pitchers this weekend. So maybe that shows that, hey, you got to, it's kind of competitive for those starting spots. This is a top 10 tournament. But it just kind of shows the depth we have to the pitching position. But yeah, help us up. Yeah, as Opitz, Moore, Christian Franklin, and Matt Goodhart, all the first team SEC honorees. So that's kind of the core right there. But yeah, a lot of these guys are ready to come. I think Jalen Battles at shortstop. Hayden Wallace, I think the true freshman's starting. Yeah, Braden Webb, you mentioned, the redshirt senior, coming back in the outfield. And then Colin Smith, you said too. I think he's kind of contended for that first base spot. And then Jacob Nesbitt at third base. So should be a fun. We're going to be really good, man. I think we're year, but I think this team, when Van Horn's teams are underrated, that's usually do pretty good.
Well, what about Leach? The Dylan Leach, the catcher. He's a freshman coming in. He might blow it up this year too. So
yeah, we've had pretty good pitcher or catchers coming out of the Razorback baseball program. So I wouldn't doubt Leach takes over for Opitz after Opitz came back for that fifth or extra year. So he kind of shortened it, and he got drafted, but didn't wanted to get it higher, so he came back. So that's awesome for him to come back. And as good as he is, being able to not only he's a hitting catcher, and like not every catcher can. He's got a really good, batting average and good on offense, but he's good at that. And with that pitching staff, it'll just only make him better. His experience.
A lot of these guys are going home to play in front of their peers. You got Gregory from Texas, you got Battles from Texas, you got Nebsit from Texas, you got Webb from Texas, you got Leach from Texas. You're just like, goodness, Lockhart's from Texas, Tress from Texas. Like, you just got a lot of guys. Burton's from Texas. You just got a lot of guys from Texas. Ramage is from Texas. And they're just going to want to go in there and just dominate this thing and just, like, show these guys, hey, like, we can, we can do this. We got it. We got this under control. We went to the right school. That's kind of what they're. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause these are some highly sought after guys. So anyway, it's just good to see it. And then you got Tyler Cacciatore from Sheridan too. So got a little hometown representation in there.
Yeah, man. That's awesome. Awesome for him. Yeah, Lyle Lockhart, one of the starters this weekend. He's from, like you mentioned, down in Friendswood, Texas. Played at University of Houston. So I guess he's one of our starters going against one of the state of Texas teams. He didn't choose to grad transfer to, but so it's like he's going to be pretty good. So him going down there, that's exciting. What an exciting first couple of games. Every season should start out like that.
Absolutely. So, yeah, it's gonna be a good time. Good staff, good players. I mean, you got Van Horn. He's just, I don't know, the guy's just a beast, man. Just puts together a hell of a team every single year that competes every single year in and year out. And the only reason he didn't win a World Series is because 3 guys stood there and made a stupid mistake and watched the ball drop right between them. Nobody reached out to catch it. And that's not his fault, man.
Nah.
I'd be waking up in cold sweats at night if I was him over that, just screaming.
Man, you can't come any closer, man. That's tough to bring up. And I think that's probably the first time we ever brought it up on the podcast.
You think so? I bet we talked about it.
Well, we have. Everybody's supposed to. I don't know. It's just hard to talk about, but it was right there. Like, hey, you can't. So yeah, Van Horn, he deserves a championship, and then I was like, we'll always remember that. It's like, oh, that's a runner up here, But at least he got 1 or 2 or however many 3 he's going to win before it's over. But he's got good teams to do it. And again, I think this could be a team that's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Again, for him, of course, you expect it. He only had 1 year he didn't make the NCAA tournament, and had a COVID postponed last year, right when we were kind of getting rolling. We started off slow, but they were probably expected to make a three-peat to the College World Series. They made it the 2 years prior that finished. So I'm sure they're looking. That's kind of the goal every year now, is expectations. But yeah, Van Horn needs one.
And what's on everybody's mind right now, Tim. Everybody's sitting there thinking right now, like, how big of a homer are these guys? Are they fixing to predict that we beat the number 3, number 9, and number 10 team in a row in Texas away?
I think we do. I'm going to say it. I don't care. I'm on a roll. Basketball's got me. I think every team in the athletic programs are ranked. I don't think there's a one that's like not ranked. And like all the sports it's playing right now, it's crazy, man.
It's damn hard. It's gonna be damn hard for me to say we're gonna lose a game when we ain't lost one yet. Man. Well, I guess we should make these predictions, man.
All right. What stands today, February 19th, 2021, huh? All right. We playing first Texas Tech. Yeah.
Number 3 in the nation.
I kind of need to think about it, you know what I'm saying? I think you got your thinking cap on, Chad. I see.
All right, it's going to be 9-5 Arkansas.
9-5.
Scoring every
Working
inning,
9
one
to
score.
5. I like that. This projection here.
Texas is going to be 3-1 Arkansas.
Okay.
And TCU.
You said 3-1. Sorry, man.
3-1. 3-1.
Okay.
And TCU is going to be 12-0 Arkansas.
I love those predictions, man. Just run through them. All right, those are incredible, man. 9-0, 3-1, 12 zeros. Wow. I'd be pretty excited about the whole team, pitching staff in general, those performances.
Me too.
Yeah, I feel a pretty good team coming on. I'll go Razorbacks 10, Texas Tech. I'll go 3, and then let's see Hogs. Oh man, Texas. That's gonna be a pretty good battle. I'll go 6-2, 2. You know, Hogs, and then TCU. Going out of the tournament, scoring runs 13-1.
I think that's good, man.
Yeah.
I think that'll be a hell of a weekend. Tell you that. Hell of a weekend. I like that 13-1. I think that was the best, prediction out of the whole bunch. Just going in there and just hammering them. Embarrassing them.
I think that's a pretty good way to do it, don't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Just make them wish they wouldn't even showed up to the game at all.
Right there. Wow.
Well,
go Hogs, man.
I think that's about it, Tim. I don't have much more. Do we have anything else? Is there anything we missed? Any other sports we need to be thinking about? There ain't nothing football-wise going on.
No, man. Football's done for a little bit.
Well, I guess we could always say